So with that, let's get into this match between Santa and Antwerp, see who the character picks are going to be, and see who ends up in grand finals, setting themselves up nicely to make a shot at that single qualifying spot.
And let's get started in Burnside. It's exactly what we were unsure about. He's bringing in the Machamp versus the Empoleon. What is your opinion on this matchup?
Yeah, this is very shocking and very exciting. I haven't seen Antwerp's utilization of Machamp in a bracket like this to my memory, and I think that this has to be an example of the fact that these players play so often, and either Antwerp's trying to surprise Santa and pick something that Santa is not expecting at all, or he's gone to this in training and it's just worked really consistently with the Machamp. He likes his chances more than with the Sceptile.
Yeah, when you take a look at Empoleon's kit overall, that burst movement could be really troublesome, especially when it comes to closing in that gap. But Antwerp wants to play up close. Santa's stuck against the wall, but does get that grab to reverse that situation and put them in a better positioning.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. So Empoleon sort of can play either full screen or right up in your face. So it'll be interesting to see if Santa sticks to more of Empoleon's zoning tools like we see him doing here with Ice Beam and Water Gun. But Antwerp running the Emolga, and that's so telling because that shows me they played this matchup before. Antwerp ready allows an answer for him with the Machamp to those full screen zoning options and creates an opening to get in. And look how it pays off. So much HP at the end of that altercation in terms of Antwerp's favor.
Although getting the Miss Magiaso on board at the same time and goes in for the follow-up too. Santa does have that burst at the ready. You can see the keep away game just trying to chip away at the shield at the same time. And that's the keep away game that we are more likely to see from this Empoleon, because you already know Santa doesn't want to play up close to Antwerp because Antwerp wants to be able to get that grab.
Yeah, Antwerp's shield's so scary low right here. But Antwerp punishing finds it 2xx. That's going to be huge damage. It's almost certainly going to be enough. Yes! That was like very, very close though based on the scaling right at the end there. And a great connection from Antwerp punishing the slide back.
I'm honestly really surprised that Santa decided to approach right there at the very end. Seeing Antwerp's shield was really scary overall, but Santa maybe getting confident at the very end. Does have this burst going into this next round, but so does Antwerp at the same time.
Yeah, the walk back Aqua Jet there catching Antwerp off guard connects into the Ice Beam. Now Santa with good stage control. Again, these Ice Beams really connecting and posing a problem for Antwerp, though he does have a Mulga online, connects with the CA, but it wasn't a crit, so it's not going to launch. I do like that Santa has the Ninetales. Oh, punishing the Water Gun.
Oh, and being able to close in that gap too, thankfully. That speed debuff is right there, so now Antwerp could get a lot more aggressive in Santa's face. Antwerp now keeping Santa over by the wall, and Santa's going to answer back with the burst meter activated forward. Does know that Antwerp is playing extremely passive here, holding the shield. Santa, though, was holding shield at the same time, but he let go of it, and Antwerp now is going to take full utilization over it.
Yeah, this is going to hurt. Antwerp just goes straight into burst now, cross chops to keep the pressure on. Oh, a nice little mix up there. Goes into the neutral Y and then into the submission. Normally you'd expect to see an attack follow up to shift, and Santa just not ready for the submission. Neutralizing the burst also from Santa. Scary situation. Nice dash back from Antwerp. He's spacing so well. Not surprising to see that. He's known for his perfect spacing with Sceptile.
Yeah, that was really good how he was able to dash back right there. He still has kept Santa against this wall, but Santa is clawing his way out of the situation, tries to get some of that stage control, and now has been able to reverse the situation back in his favor, putting a point on board.
Yeah, I think the end of that round, Vicky, you called it out perfectly, showing just how important controlling the space in this matchup is going to be. If Santa can either keep Antwerp cornered or keep himself at range, he's going to be fine. But playing up close like this with Machamp is going to be really tough, especially if you can't make the nice calls. Nice backdash there from Santa. Avoiding the Oki, though, you do have a few frames of invul on your backdash if it's timed properly. So great stuff to Antwerp, or excuse me, to Santa.
Oh, Miss Magias now coming in alive and does manage to get the damage off of that. Managing to actually try to get aggressive, but good on Antwerp right there to recognize the situation, does get that grab, and is going to be able to tack on that extra pressure, closing in some of that spacing gap that we were talking about before. But look how both of these players are playing so defensively. You know right there that Santa, he's stuck against the wall. He manages to get around Antwerp, and also being able to get that mix-up right here. Antwerp is going to be able to answer back, and this could be a lot of damage. Santa, though, at the ready, you saw he was ready with the block.
Oh, bounces off the wall, doesn't get punished for it. That could have been really scary for Santa. Now Antwerp playing the tippy-tappy and gonna close out game number 1. Those mix-ups with those jabs can be so devastating. You leave these little spots where you're not sure if they're going to continue to hits, maybe go into the counterattack follow-up, or even just do something like that, maybe into a grab. And Antwerp utilizing that for the first time in that game, paying off, closes out game number 1.
Almost different than what we had seen looking at Europe. More so, Oceania is playing a lot more passively and doing so successfully because that's Santa's game plan too. At the same time, managing to keep Antwerp away. You can see the way that Santa is trying to move around Antwerp's space, but Antwerp finding that opening, closing in that gap. You see, oh, you're approaching me. Well, you can see how he's walking up and holding shield, but Santa is able to drift back and manages to get that cross up, gets the shield. But it's a matter of getting that counter, and he does so successfully, tacking on a good amount of that damage.
Yeah, that was a great response to that close combat. Antwerp just going into it too quickly, foolishly, got a combo into it, and Santa was ready for it. Santa doing a nice job here. I think the question that Santa caught by the Emolga has been so strong for Antwerp here. Lands the air throw, and now Antwerp with the corner.
Yeah, not only does that Emolga provide that window of opportunity for Antwerp to close in that space gap that he wants to play close quarters into Santa's space, but it also decreases Santa's speed, and when you have to rely on that mobility, it could be lethal. But here comes Santa, though, making sure that it's not a problem, making this comeback and applying some of that extra pressure onto Antwerp.
Yep, now Santa into the Miss Magus. This is going to be potentially a huge pressure situation. Santa, though, using it to call Ice Beam twice. He has an HP lead, so he's just choosing to try to keep the pressure up. He only needs one hit on Antwerp's Machamp. It's all projectiles just trying to pester Antwerp. This is a scary situation, though, because one hit from Antwerp could close it out for him as well. There it is.
Oh, and there it is. And you know what's great there too, because after learning from the first round, okay, you know, that shield was red. I wanted to keep attacking on some of that extra pressure. I had gone in and I got punished for it, so this time I'm not gonna go in. But Antwerp still was able to close in that gap and still was able to find that necessary damage to take that first round.
Yeah, absolutely. Antwerp just so calm in that situation. And I think one huge adaptation Santa is going to have to make right now if he wants to stay in this is the zoning is working, but he's ceding space. So he finds himself in the corner, and Antwerp just slowly works his way in and finds an opening. Santa's going to have to find a way to utilize the zoning effectively as he's doing, but not end up in the corner where Antwerp can land that one devastating hit. Antwerp answering back, though, winning this field phase, and now Shoulder already has himself a little ways off. Santa pushing him back. We'll see how this plays out. Ooh.
Santa does have the Ninetales, though, and the Burst Meter to try to answer back. And Antwerp now having plans of his own, keeping Santa by the shield, by the corner. And rather, I like the patient play right there. You saw the jab into just waiting it out, see what Santa's options were built for. Does the wake up into Ninetales, and Antwerp was ready. Great reaction right there, had the shield ready up. And Santa now could utilize the Burst to try to make this comeback, and he is going to pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, so Santa has to make something happen here. Oh, goes in, sort of feints his Steel Wing and goes for a dive kick. That's going to be a punish. No! Antwerp was a little bit slow in the Emolga call.
I like how Santa was actually ready for that too. Now avoiding what could be a lethal situation, and Antwerp now trying to catch Santa off guard with the burst. Santa was ready this time around. I like the patient adaptation that we're seeing from Santa here.
But the too much patience from Santa going to end up costing him the set. So devastating for him. You know, Antwerp played so patiently and knew he had the life lead.